Hello, Chumbas! It's us! We're back! This is season 5 of Cyberpunk Red. I'm Simon at Wandering DM. Thank you so much for coming tonight. We have a guest for our premiere, who we will introduce in a few minutes. But before we, kick off season 5, do all the intros and everything, I have one quick announcement, and then the sponsors, and then we start. First announcement: Adelaide will be back next week, so we'll have a new overlay potentially to accommodate for all 8 of us. If Gordon comes back next week, depending on how the arc goes this week. I'm dropping that, and then I realized I didn't inform Jim in my Twitter message earlier. Sorry. Big announcement, the screen, the GM screen, the data screen for Cyberpunk Red has just dropped last week. We had a giveaway for its release, courtesy of Artalsorian Games. It is, to date, the best GM screen I have ever seen. It's got everything in it that you need if you want to GM a game. Very useful, very detailed, very worth the price, especially since it comes in dark mode.
For the PDF.
Or the PDF, yeah, not the real one. Otherwise, I want to thank our other sponsors. Of course, there's Artalsorian Games, but there's also Roll20. There is also Found Familiar, Magen Press, and our affiliates, or I am an affiliate of, Die Hard Dice. If you want to check them out, my code still works for the month of... The month of July. Sorry about that, Windows is freaking out. So you can check that out if you want to get yourself some dice for the summer.
I'm just gonna take a second to shill because it got announced today, and I love them and they're gorgeous. They worked with someone else who's a friend of this channel. A certain singing diva opera geek.
Yes.
And they released 2 new sets today for her, and they are gorgeous. Like, I need new dice.
Yeah, the Aria and the can't remember the other name.
Cadenza.
That's it. That's the one. So, let's go and introduce our cast and get this game on the road. Start with our regular players, then we'll finish with our newcomer. We'll do the 2 columns, so we'll start in the upper left corner of the overlay with Chris.
Good evening, Jumbas. My name's Chris Geary. I'm back here playing Mr. White, aka Dr. Frost, your local friendly, well, sometimes friendly trauma team surgeon, who's just out to. I'm not sure what he's out to do anymore. Life has given us a lot of curves lately, so I will pass it on to. You said down, so down to Rin. Yeah.
Hey, I'm Rin. I don't know. I'm playing crazy ass Jinx, who has to decide what she's doing with her uncle, I guess. That's it. Yeah.
Next up, second column, we're going to start with Deirdre.
Oh, hey all, you know me. I'm at Deirdre on Twitter, or Practical Growth has me on 4 You can see me around here on Twitch, and I get to be your friendly neighborhood friend who will make it go to 11 and is totally here to support everybody, although she's kind of currently bleeding just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. And she ran over a bunch of people who fucked with her car. That's valid.
I thought I healed that already.
No, you stabilized it, so I didn't have the crit.
That's what it was.
You got rid of the crit, but I'm
that's
still...
what it was.
Next we have Hannah.
Hey, I'm Hannah, and in this game I'm playing Black Cat, the fixer who can fix things for pretty much everybody but herself. And she has a crossbow now, so that's about to become everybody's problem.
Would you like exploding ammunition? I think she deserves exploding ammunition.
If you could fix me up something that explodes, that would make it so much better. I would love that.
We fix that.
What's going on? Is somebody Rambo now? Is Black Cat Rambo now?
Yep.
We'll see.
There's a couple more steps, I think, but
Last among our players is Anino.
How's it going, everyone? My name's Anino. I use he, him pronouns, as does my character Jimenez, who is the quiet and unassuming type and member of this group.
Sure. Last but certainly not least, we have our guest coming in today. If you would like, Jim, to introduce yourself and your character, and maybe like in a sentence or two, tell us who exactly are you playing tonight?
All right. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jim Ryan. I use he, him pronouns, and I do various bits of gamery in various places. And tonight I am playing Gordon Blackwood, who you might have seen briefly at the end of another episode. He was a former BBC war correspondent, but that was about 20 years ago, 20 plus years ago. And so since then, he's had a very rough life that he's been forcing to get better as time has gone on. Was a media. Still has a lot of fingers in that pie, but is gone fixer since then. Basically, a media who broke bad.
And speaking of Breaking Bad, a lot of bad things happened last season. We ended with an explosive firefight and a massive battle at the Night City Marina. Massive battle that saw the reveal of the Justice Mime. I think to start to kick off our Season 5, we'd start with a video, not very high quality, played on a broken screen in one of the many, dives across Night City. And on loop, basically, is this video, the one that was taken at the end of our Season 4. X, would you want to just recap what the video shows? What do the viewers in the bar see? Ooh.
I think the viewers in the bar would see the Justice Mime sneaking up behind the last stand of Dog Killer, and then picking him up and leaping off the damaged armored vehicle and driving him down into the pavement headfirst with a move called the Brainbuster. And as he stood up, he used his chem skin to push away the makeup that he uses to reveal that Justice Mime is none other than the professional wrestler at NCW by the name of Jimenez.
And in this dive, in this bar, there's a pair of interesting individuals. They're sitting at a table, nursing their drinks, looking at the screen. One of them, let's grab my thing. My bad. Where is it? Gordon, who was the name of the person that's with you?
Sorry. What kind of person do we need? I have a few.
No, it's your first friend. I didn't have the name. The surveillance specialist.
Oh, the surveillance specialist. That I actually I left that open in case you wanted it. But the contingency name I came up with is Davy Riggs.
Davy Riggs. All right.
Yes.
Um,
Davy can be. I do not know Davy's pronouns as of yet. We can make that up as we go.
Yeah. I'll get some info, but I think the camera would be set, right above Davy's shoulder, so that we see the screen, and then we pan down, and we notice the reaction of Gordon Blackwood. Gordon, you were there that night. You saw those events. You saw it happen live. You even got it on camera, albeit from a certain distance, not the close-up shot that was sent on the net. How does that make you feel?
I'm just sort of seeing that. I'm just sort of looking at it. He's like, "Oh, son of a bitch," and he just sort of will hit Davy on the shoulder and point at. We were going to sell that.
Yeah. Talk about getting a rug pulled out from under you.
See, this is what happens. I guess this is what happens when I get too greedy and decide to hold on to something just long enough to see if I can get a good buyer for it. Damn it! I should have just released the damn thing.
Look, we can probably find out who did that, like who filmed it, who put it on the net. I mean, I'm not saying we go and break their tech, but perhaps a strongly worded fist in their face could work.
No. Now we gotta see if it's worth it. Either that, or we could do one better. We could see what we can. We could dig into these folks, see if we can get more information on them. He's with a group there. There's got to be something. There's got to be something, because that's Dog Killer. This is going to be huge. This is going to be something people need to know, that this kind of thing is possible. That sons of bitches like that can actually have somebody stand up to him.
Oh, there you go with the big talk again. So, what you want to send a message to any petty crook in Night City that they should watch their asses, because a ragtag group of whatever poor assholes living in the combat zone, and a guy in a mime costume decided to, I don't know, that they were fed up with the Shiv. Actually, I don't even... I think it was just a fluke for them.
You gotta know what these... Listen, you gotta know what these warlords are capable of, right? Look, I had to work, and I don't tell many people this, and you know this, I had to work for one for years, when I was back with Eternal Dreadnought.
Yeah,
I didn't think anything was going to topple that fella, but finally, it's these... This is big. I've never seen anybody be able to take out someone that size. In just with a group that size. This is something that I think if people know about it. And here's the thing about symbols, Davey. You do understand that what's actually inside the symbol is not something that people are going to pay attention to so much as the headline. This is something that if we just dig in enough and find out enough details and just give it the proper send-off, everything's going to skyrocket. I got a feeling about this one. I think it's possible. As you know, this Justice Mime also ain't necessarily an amateur. They took out. They were with some folks taking out a slave ring a little while back.
Yeah, I seem to remember.
There's a lot to it. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot more here, and I think we can find. If we can find it out, then that is something that is definitely going to be, well, not only of help to folks, but to our advantage as well.
What makes you think that this was the real deal? I mean, okay, look, I'm just gonna put that out there. All right, that guy, and he points to the screen again, which video is just looping. A guy, Jimenez, like, he's a pro wrestler. Pro wrestlers do stuff. They like, set up things like. What makes you think that this wasn't just like an elaborate thing with stunt guys and all that, and it's just to promote some like weird, cage death match type of thing?
Well, with everything we've seen Justice Mime getting involved with, you think all that would be just for the sake of promotion? I don't know. That's an awful far reach to go for just promotion. And I mean, I get what you're saying. Maybe if he's just sort of co-opting the Justice Mime, maybe it's just like he steps in at the last minute or something. I don't know. No. Just from what I'm seeing, I mean, you've seen the footage. Yeah, it's like that's got to be the same guy, right? I think, but that's the thing. We got to dig into it. If we dig into it and we figure it out, then I think on the one hand, we've got more than our competitor has. We can get that out. And if we find out that it's bullshit, well, that's even better, because then we can get an elbow in on them, I think this is actually something that could be a win-win for us if we get anything at all.
Okay, say I agree. Because I am assuming you say we and everything. That means you want me to, like, get some footage, set up something, maybe like have a few drones around, get a few shots. You're talking about using my tech. Using my tech means I need to see some green. How many eddies do you have for that?
He's going to he just, well, actually, for a second he'll just sort of think back about his monetary situation, and he'll sort of look around and just sort of glance out the window where his office, which is an old news van, is parked, and just sort of come back and say, well, I'm good for it. I can get it.
As a media, by the way, you would know, like, you don't have to tell Davey anything. But a job like this would probably be around $300. Because everyone is a freelancer in media these days. So this expose, this piece, the more it's bought by different networks, the more money you get. But let's say it's something that affects like the entirety of Night City, that's around $300. He doesn't seem to have a number in mind.
Okay. It's like, no, it's very doable. It's actually very doable. I've already crunched the numbers on this.
Okay.
You're not going to get stretched too far. I can promise you that.
All right then. Let's talk hypotheticals.
Yeah.
We don't even, well, we know who this one guy is. Like, we can go to his I don't know, we can ambush him at his gym or something. He's a public persona. We can easily find something on the net about him, but I don't know about any of these people. And like he motions to the screen where you see like some of the other characters, you know, coming out of this like heavily armored RV with a gun to like a giant turret gun at the top. Well, you remember seeing them because you don't see them necessarily on the video.
Yeah.
There's one person near Jimenez, who's a woman, half of her head shaved, long hair like on the other side, carrying a very, very long sniper rifle. She was more or less by Jimenez's side. Like, when everything is done, you see her, like, get into frame for, like, a split second. I don't know who these people are. Oh, and it's not like we can ask any of the people they were fighting against, because even that poor son of a bitch who ran away got shot in the back, like, twice. So, hey, they don't leave witnesses.
Yeah, but I mean, a piece like that can't be can't be too hard to trace. No, I'll do some digging. I think I can probably get some more on them. Just got to look in the right places.
Well, then you let me know, and I'll come running as fast as the eddies are gonna transfer into my account. How about that?
That's straight to the end, David. That's why I love you.
And with a laugh and a toast, we're going to fade across the screen 1 week later. We'll move on to the characters. We'll get back to you, Gordon. See how well your research went. Hey, gang. Back at your old haunt. The old apartment complex on Pondsmith Avenue. You do know you have your new piece of real estate waiting for you. You're done. Actually, for Jinx, you're done hiding from Zolo's shade or from the Raph and Shiv in general. Technically, there's nobody else left that could ever link what happened years ago to you or to your family. You can now start fresh. During that week, Mr. White, it happened twice. You've received a call on your agent. A distorted message, like someone trying to call while they were driving into a tunnel. So it, you know, if you pick up or if you leave it like go into voicemail.
Okay.
There's some like static, maybe like a crunch or two, and then just the signal cuts, like someone hung up.
Is it which number is it? Is it the one that's most commonly called as Mr. White?
It's the message, the number for Mr. White.
Okay. Can I try and trace it?
You could, without net running, because there's no way to know where exactly that call was saved, or originated from. But if you want to trace it back, I'd say make a library use check. Add your net running, your interface bonus to it.
Okay. So, all right. So I'm going to add 2 to this, but I'm going to roll it first.
Yeah.
So 21.
Oh shit. Okay. So 21. The call comes from Manitoba. Canada.
I know.
Middle of
Nowhere.
nowhere.
Let's say one of them went to voicemail.
Okay.
Either on purpose, if it was this, if I picked up the first one and got nothing and it came from the same number, I would have let it go to voicemail the second time. Is there playing it back, cleaning up the audio? Is there anything that I can do to pick up anything? Sounds, like modem code, anything.
Because you've started net running, you've heard those noises. Let's call them modem noises, like the old dial-up modems. But it doesn't go, like, it doesn't dial the full signal. It's like it tries to open communication. It tries to ping your phone or whatever, or what should have been like a cyber deck or a or a computer directly, and it doesn't even go through the entire procedure before it stops.
That's fine. My guess is, okay, I'm going to pursue, mostly because White is a little bit, I don't want to say paranoid, but heightened vigilance at the moment. I think he's going to try and assume that it's a message from Alt and that the sound is some sort of it's some sort of cipher, and he'll do his best to try and figure out what the key is and solve to find out what the message is. Due to the information that was shared, that's his theory.
It's, I mean, during the week you can. Are you trying to reach her back with it? Sorry.
I'm trying to figure out if the message says something.
Oh, no.
Okay.
So
it's not a cipher. It's not some sort of coded message.
No, it's well, actually, you know what? Make a come here, GM screen. I would say I don't want to say straight up intelligence because it's not interface. Oh, electronics. Make an electronics.
Like the electronic security tech?
Electronic security tech, yeah.
Okay. 13.
So the with a 13, without being able to necessarily get like the exact bytes that are transferred, you get the gist of it. It's being sent to your agent, but this like protocol normally goes from computer to computer, but like old school computer to computer.
Like old as in the old deck that he has, or old as in even before that?
No, old as in the deck that you have. Like, we'll say like it's a 20-ish years old protocol before the fall of the net.
Can I reverse engineer where the signal, like where, like the number it's dialing from to dial back that direction?
You could. That's going to take more time than like the week. So I'll just go around the table, get to everybody else. But yeah, over the course of like, tonight or the other sessions.
Okay,
we can
sounds good.
Get into that. Moving on to Jinx. How's Jinx doing now?
What is she doing? Probably doing the same old thing she always does, and hanging out and actually talking to people, and well, the people that she's worked with, and probably doing jobs and like watching her back less. But like, she doesn't seem that different. Like, yeah, she probably maybe drinks a little bit more every night, but yeah.
But you're basically outgoing in public and everything.
Yeah, like whereas like before, like obviously she was like hiding, but now she'll go to the after hours, and is that what that bar is called again?
Forlorn Hope, the Afterlife.
Afterlife. Thank you. Sorry.
Depends on where depends on if you want to hear bad music.
The Afterlife, because she's going to play poker. And she's looking for another death race, or any race for that matter. Because she wants to bring a menace on another race. Yeah. So
here's an interesting tidbit of news. And you'll learn that at the end of the week. Okay, like the Friday, like it's on the news Friday night, right? Because of all the shit that happened due to the Raffenshiv's presence in Night City and the giant firefight that occurred at the marina, the Night City Council is trying to crack down and outlaw street racing in every form. And the problem is, this includes Combat Cab, which has a lot of people angry. So they're...
Never liked that show.
There might be some death races, but you figure it might be a lot harder for you to get into one or to find one. Or they might take place outside of Night City. But so far, all of your regular spots, all your regular contacts, no one's talking, or they're downright ghosting you.
okay. What? You know what? Fine. If everybody's ghosting me, Jinx will just stay in her apartment and just like veg.
Well, I mean, the people that you're trying to reach.
For the races?
Yeah.
Okay. Darn it. Well then she'll be like probably hanging at the Afterlife looking for jobs and the usual. And I mean, if the gang anybody needs help or anything, she'll help them. And
okay.
Yeah.
Trins. I gather that one of your first item of business during the week is to repair the RV.
That's actually second item of business. First item of business is to appropriate that AV.
And clean all the shit that exploded inside because of White's doing.
Yeah, but the mechanicals are fine. All he did was spray a lot of, so the fire suppressant on the inside. That's easy to clean up. The mechanicals are important. Also, the only thing that blew up was the missile launchers. So.
Yeah. The two big, like, battery missile launchers are gone.
Yeah, I'll take those off. That's not that big a deal.
Oh, you don't need to take them off. They're already off.
Yeah, but the remains and their brackets and all that stuff, that would be, complications. And I want the AV, so I'm taking the AV.
All right.
And then the only thing I have to fix on the RV is the window. And that's that's an hour job, because I gotta take the door panel off and then put the window back in and then do the whole thing. And then maybe clean the blood off the driver's seat.
Yep. Pretty much.
I has an AV.
You have an AV9. If you look at the Cyberpunk Red Book, it's on page 192.
Okay, give me 1 second.
The-
Sorry.
That's okay. It's an AV9 Super Aerodyne. Basically, it goes. The narrative speed of this vehicle is 300 miles per
192?
hour. 191. Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah. So it is a very, very fast vehicle. And of course, this one had a few mods added to it. Let me get that thing. So the it's got two smart auto rifles. So treat them as regular assault rifles. It's just that if you have a smart link, you can connect to them. And you can control them with your mind instead of controlling them, manually. That's, if you look at like the Nomad things, it's one of the like level 1 onboard machine gun. It's got 2 of those. It's got an armored chassis, bulletproof glass, communication center.
I'm just gonna need to get you to give me that wonderful stats because I can't get the vehicle PDF sheet to start editing right now, so I'll get those from you later.
Oh, yeah. I'll send them in the Zoom chat. No problem. So, yeah, and the interior, so you remember those were, sold to Militech, and then you didn't know what Militech could have done to them. And then this very specific model was lost, quote unquote. So inside, what it basically is most of it has been stripped bare to accommodate living quarters. A person could live their whole lives. It's a little bigger than a Cube Hotel. Actually, it is bigger than a Cube Hotel. Maybe a little smaller than a container house. So it's, decent. And you would live in a flying house. Basically. Dog Killer seems to have spent a lot of time there and in relative comfort.
She's gonna clean it, then she's gonna sterilize it, then she's gonna clean it again. Then she's going to make it look like Chin's vehicle. The sound system needs
So
to be updated. The lights need to be updated.
It's going to play Shakira.
Well, yes, of course, and a bunch of other people. But in Thor Ragnarok.
Keep going. You want a button that says "It's my birthday"?
No, I want the entire music system. It's going to be that level of tricked out because it's trends.
Okay.
And then she's going to start looking for firepower. We could put the 50 cal in it.
Installing it,
I mean, probably externally, so it's a pivot gun and underneath.
yeah, it would be a very heavy weapon mount, which counts as a rank 5, which means that in this particular case, you would need to see an experienced nomad to set it up.
Or I could do it.
No, because it's beyond your
No, but I can fabricate it. I can.
No, because it's only rank. I think it's only rank 1 that you can.
No, I
fabricate.
can rank 1 automatically. I have to roll for anything higher.
Yeah, no, but it's only rank 1. Anything higher is nomad. Because otherwise, the tech does everything that the nomad can do.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, in this case, you would need to probably go to the Aldecaldos outside of town, and they can get it done. That's going to take, I mean, most of your week, but I'm assuming you're not spending like 12, 16 hours a day on it.
I mean, it's trends. She probably could, but she's not currently. No. She's also making. She's going to be doing a full, like highlight reel of the best intermix opening, entrance point videos and Justice Mime shots to kind of like create like a fan vid kind of thing and start putting those up. And
Did you put it on your garden space?
Oh yeah. It's trends. Does she understand low profile? Ever?
No, I'm just noting down certain things.
Right ahead. Note it.
Okay.
She wants to support her boyfriend's skills in his work.
Yeah. Oh, spread the word. That's what I'm noting down. And I mean, speaking of boyfriend, I know we're gonna get to Jimenez soon, but do the two of you do anything during that week? I mean, I don't want to know all the details, but...
Well, Jimenez is pretty much doing the same thing in that he's trying to appear a little bit more, but put out more Justice Mind videos and stir up more interest. He's also probably released some videos that were pre-recorded of him in a meeting board with the NCW Booker and Draven, and just a video of that. That guy denying Jimenez the match that Draven had promised him, which was to drop the world title to him. And so he's probably doing that in order to see if the fans would
be understandably pissed.
Yes, and maybe convince the NCW board to change their minds by any means necessary.
Can you make a charismatic impact check? You can, and did you increase your rank before the stream, or did you keep it at what it was?
No, it's 6 now.
6 now? Okay. Oh well. Okay. 5 and 6 doesn't make a difference for. All right, that would be a DC 12. Ooh.
Do I need to burn a luck point?
No. You got it.
Okay.
Not only do you get a lot of feedback, comments, and even some, video reactions, but you get video reactions and comments not just from people in Night City. You've reached Los Angeles. You've reached Las Vegas. You've reached Reno. And there's even someone in Vancouver. Like, one lone person who bought one of your t-shirts. Who's rooting for you. And, someone even, suggested drafting a, like a change.org petition. To give you that title fight. You know how the system works. You know that's not going to change anything. But it's cute to see that, they're going to try. And then near the end of the week, about like Thursday night, you get a private message, a private video sent to your garden space specifically. Do you open it?
Sure, why not?
It's a dark room, poorly lit, filmed with an agent. Someone wearing a mask, like a, almost like a goalie mask, a la, Friday the 13th. And, they're, of course, altering their voice with a voice modulator. And they say, X, just say the word. I'll kill Draven for you. And they move, like, just to the side to show an armory. Guns, swords, a belt full of grenades, and even a homemade, what you can only assume is a nuke.
I think Jimenez will respond. I appreciate the offer, but Draven wants the match too. It's the Booker that doesn't believe I should have that match.
You get a message, maybe like a minute after. Say no more, I got you.
Oh, maybe that was not a great idea.
Oh.
I think Jimenez is probably just going to close the message and delete it. And then, well, I didn't really like him that much anyway, so... Oh, well. And he will just close his laptop and, go run some errands or something.
And pretend like nothing ever happened.
Yeah, basically.
And our last person for the week, Black Cat, what have you been up to?
Were those explosive bolts still on the table?
Yeah, sure. I can make those.
Great. And now that you've got the AV, do you really need the RV? Because, I could probably get you a good price for it if you want to...
No, we're keeping the RV.
But do you really need 2 vehicles?
Yes. Have you not seen... Let me show you my garage.
I would love to see your garage.
We can go see the garage. There's a lot more than 2 vehicles in her garage.
Okay.
Like, none of them are as armored as the RV or the AV. They're not combat vehicle, but they're souped up vehicle.
There's a couple, like, a couple kind of generic looking sedans that if you pop, that she'll like bang on and pop the hood and show you that underneath the hood, everything has been rebuilt. So there's a couple turbos, some really nice, injector engines. Then there's the obvious street races that were designed just to be flash and possibly win some money. And then in a corner, under a cover is like the pristine showpiece inherited vehicle from her family, the 1967 Mustang convertible on the floor, candy apple red with a white rag top. Cars are fun.
This gift collection, man, is very cool.
No, exploding bolts. Anything else?
I can't think of anything currently. I mean, unless somebody needs my assistance, my services.
Ooh, maybe you could find somebody that will help me, because I need the gear to put the 50 cal to mount it underneath the AV, so that we can have a sweeping cannon. And basically, it's a submachine gun underneath the RV. Well, it's a machine gun. It's a 50 caliber machine gun. It's fine.
Let me check around. I might be able to find you somebody for that.
Cool. All right. Exploding bolts. Do you want electrifiers, or do you want me to just? We'll do the whole gambit. It's fine.
Speaking of bolts, I think without rolling,
that would be just a
you can
fabricate
do
for
them.
me and.
Well, it's not even. I don't think it's fabricate. I think it's just the upgrade. Because you can take regular bolts and
Yeah, I can
make them
upgrade.
into let's see. It's called
My
incendiary
base would be a
ammunition.
19. My base
okay.
would be a 19.
They're called premium. Let me just check how long it takes. But I think within the week, I don't think there's even with a plus 19, you don't. Premium. Yeah, look, the DV is 17. There is technically no way you can fail, but they do take a day each. So what I'll say is, because you spend a long time during the week doing blah blah blah. Let's go with 2 checks. So it's 10 bolts each. So long as you don't roll a 1, we're good.
That's weapons tech, right?
Yes, weapons tech.
Sorry.
No,
I
that's
just
okay.
had this moment of like, wait, which one? 21,
Cool.
36. Would you like the exploding electric bolts?
Oh, yes. I think that would be most charming.
You're going to have 10 incendiary ammunition.
Okay.
Basically what they do is whenever you hit someone with them, from that point on, they take 2 damage directly to their HP unless they spend their turn putting themselves out.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
So you got 10 of those. And the other ones, as far as electric isn't really in the list. So what I'll say is, we'll say they're electric, but what we'll do is mechanically, instead of 2 damage, it's gonna be 4 damage.
Okay.
So you've got 10 at 2, that's just fire, and then 10 that do 4 damage, that's like fire and electricity.
Okay.
Because, why not overkill?
You know I love overkill. It's my favorite thing.
I like to make things go to 11.
Oh,
I
okay.
like the way you think.
No, I'm sorry. Then you have 11.
Oh, nice. Very cool.
As for the favor that Trince has asked you, Black Cat,
Yes.
that would require a check from you.
All right.
Because you can scour your contacts if you want. You're not going to find... Well, actually, you are going to find one nomad for sure in Night City, because you live with her. But otherwise, if you wanted to try to contact someone else, outside of maybe the people that know, or that Jinx knows, that know Jinx or Jinx knows, that would require an operator check.
I feel like it's easiest to ask close to home. Yes? Don't you think that Jinx would be more than happy to do it, Jinx?
Yeah, sure. Especially now that I don't have a bounty on my head.
Yeah, see, I forget those things. Didn't want to ask because I know that you don't like to talk about it, so I didn't want to bother you. But then, if you know somebody who's willing to help me, we do it.
Yeah, yeah. I got a bunch of people I can ask.
Great. I
One
could
of
do
them will
you
help us.
a favor in return or whatever you need.
Do you like racing?
You want me to try and find you a race?
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Find
bet
me
I
a
could
race.
find somebody.
Or just somebody I can race. Or some,
I'll
a race.
I'll just go out on the street and say, "Oh, you want to do a death race?"
I mean,
I mean,
I'm up for it.
if you ask enough people, eventually you're going to find somebody who says yes. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll get in touch with probably the Aldecados and find out if they have somebody who can help us out.
Yes. They do. You would just need to show up. And, while you're at it, Mitchell, your Aldecaldo contact, will let you know that it's all water under the bridge. Dog Killer is dead. The whole honor thing between the nomad clans, that's just how things have been done since the dawn of time. No harm, no foul.
Yeah, uh-huh.
And last thing would be for, I need to know your operator rank, Black Cat.
Operator rank. would
Your
be-
level of fixer, yeah.
I think I'm a 5.
5, okay. You could, you know how to work your way up the, municipal red tape? And, or through the municipal red tape, I should say, and get the phone number of the councilman who's in charge of this, building up this case for this new law.
Mhm.
The one person cracking down on races probably knows where they are and who organizes them. Then once you have that list of names, it's just a question of going down the list until you find someone who's still willing to race.
Just cold call everybody on this list.
It's the oldest trick in the book, but it works.
I don't mind being annoying, so sure.
Alright. That's gonna take a little bit of time, so we're gonna get back to that later. Gonna go back to, before our break, back to Gordon. Gordon, during that week, you tried to find some information on said group of people. What's your go-to method for, looking for info? Are you more of a... Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I know. What was that? What were you about to ask? Because that might help me figure a thing out.
I was gonna ask, are you more of a, on the street type of guy? Or, more of a through the net? What's your... Yeah, what's your... even as a fixer, do you meet with people? Do you just work with...
Yeah, Gordon's much more about face-to-face. He's much more about being out there, pounding around. And so we'll be in touch with people who look things up, that kind of thing as well. So, people who are involved with the net, and he has a certain degree of understanding of it, but he's very much knows that he kind of believes that it's connecting with people is kind of important in order to be able to get a thing done. It's a lot of basically getting out there and shaking the trees to try to find out what's going
on. Then I'll say start with a local expert check.
Okay. And
that would be a D10 plus your intelligence plus your rank in local expert.
Okay, I have. Is that okay? Apparently, my local expert is very good. So so let's see. Like now he does math.
And if
And
you
he
roll a
rolls the
10,
die.
yeah, by the way, if you roll a 10, it explodes. So you roll again.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so that is going to be a 17.
All right. Oh, and by the way, if you roll a 1, you do the same thing, but reverse.
Aha, okay, gotcha.
So with a 17, actually, you were doing things in person. And I took notes of, who did what during that week. One person was very active on the net. Well, 2 were very active on the net. 1 was very active on the streets. And so you found not just information. You downright found Jinx
Okay.
at the afterlife.
Oh, this will be interesting.
You know that tonight she's playing in a poker game. You know she'll be at the club. And, so long as you can pay the entry fee, you can go in. The afterlife is probably the destination for edge runners. You've been there countless times. It's where you get any dirt that you need, and it's where you get any job that would fall on the less than legal side of things.
Do I know that after doing my research, do I know that Jinx is a nomad?
I'd say with a 17, we're gonna do 17. Ask Jinx 4 questions, and she has to answer with the truth. Those would be the information you're able to get.
Oh. So let's see. So let me see. So assuming I'm starting from 0 and that I don't, if I do this fairly, because out of character I know it's a nomad, but in character,
well, I mean, even in character, you would know what nomads are in general.
Yeah.
But you can't just look at someone and be like, "Oh yeah, you're a nomad."
Well, yeah, and I mean, there's certain things. Yeah, I was trying to figure out based on background things, that kind of thing. But also, so I guess the question is, what can my first question be about a specific nomad group?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. All right.
By the way, you're not asking her in game. Like this is just info that Gordon fished out.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, and I'm just trying to figure out where the barriers are. I don't know. Okay. No worries. No, we're gonna figure this out. To which nomad group do or did you belong?
I was part of the Warden family, who no longer exist.
Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay. All right. Cool. Excellent. And question 2. Against whom was the Warden family warring, if at all?
They weren't warring against anybody. It's her uncle who turned against the family.
Okay.
And with time became Zillow Shade and then became Dog Killer.
Okay. Good to know. All right. Let's see. Question number 3. Let me know if this is too much of a if this is too big a question. Let's say if there's a place or a neighborhood or a specific area you go to hole up or even just sort of pull back from things, can you tell me what that place is?
Well, aside from the apartment, it'd be she's usually always at the afterlife. She doesn't really have like a safe house anywhere exactly.
Okay. So just here or your home address. Those are the two. Okay. All right, gotcha. And my final question is, what does Jinx like to drink?
Whiskey.
Is that with or without an E?
Okay, Ren doesn't know what you mean.
One is Scottish, the rest are Irish.
Yeah.
Okay, I drink maple.
The whiskey that we drink
It's maple syrup whiskey. So
Does it have an E on the label?
it's I think it's an no, it's a Y, no E.
Oh, okay.
So it's a Scottish recipe.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm sorry that I didn't know that.
Oh, no problem. No, that's
I
specialized
honestly
perhaps.
thought it was just two spellings, like, British and American spelling.
Yeah.
Yeah, but technically, I do have Irish and Scottish in my family, so I'm sorry to my family. That's what.
No worries. That's one of those weird, rare things that I didn't know until like a few weeks ago, actually, for certain even. And I too have both in my family. So, was on the web. And I was like, wait a minute, that's true. Okay. So yeah. Those are my questions.
Then we're gonna go to break. When we come back, Gordon Blackwood enters the afterlife, and the rest of the party starts their week. We're gonna be right back, everyone. 5 to 10 minutes. Stick around. Season 5 has just begun. Hello, we are back. So let's change our little music here and go to a.
I haven't been hearing anything.
Oh no, chat hears everything.
Oh. Womp womp.
We get nothing.
You get nothing because the sound was a little loud. Like, I mean, I'm gonna share it with all of you, but we'll see. So, doors open. There's a crowd of people talking, dancing near a stage, drinking, doing some synth coke on the belly of one of the barmaids. And a lot of edgy edge runners lounging in their trench coats and dark shades in a neon lit corner of the bar. And then you see them. Tonight's poker group. Getting drinks before the game. Among them, you see a woman, a familiar woman. Jinx, what do you look like for tonight's game?
She probably has her nicer clothes that we got in Las Vegas? Is that where we got the nice clothes?
When you were in Vegas? Yeah.
Yeah. So she's probably. I'm trying to remember what I had said it was. A leather biker jacket and probably like a nice pair of jeans and a tank top. Yeah. You don't see any guns on her, but that doesn't mean they aren't there. You don't see the sniper rifle, so. But yeah, she's not that much more made up. She looks as she always does look. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, approaching, you see someone who's dressed sort of similarly to this. So there's kind of a trench coat on top of what could be a dresses almost like, kind of looks like someone's dad underneath the trench coat if it weren't for the trench coat. Basically, so it's he's got a tie and the sweater thing. It's actually kind of more of a tactical sweater, actually, type deal. So of the sort that someone would wear out like in the field, European military, what have you, type looking-ish type stuff. And seems to know a few people in the bar, just sort of will wave to one or two people. It's very sort of kind of semi-shabby looking. Like he cleaned up nicely, but he has this sort of slight shabbiness to him. Sort of is a little heavy set. He has sort of thick brow, and very very much a sort of a direct seeming demeanor to him, despite the person playing him, and he'll kind of just sort of head up to where this group is assembling, and just kind of he'll order a drink, but he will stop close to you. He'll order a drink, and just sort of he will glance over, and he says, "It's Jinx, isn't it?"
Yeah, who's this asking?
Gordon Blackwood, and he will do that thing where he sort of does a quick thing where he eyes a person before he extends his hand to see whether or not they're the type of person that would appreciate a hand being extended or not. Because sometimes you just stick your hand out there and the person just sort of stares at it. So he'll move his arm in a friendly enough fashion that it could become a handshake, or it could just become him grabbing something from the bar.
Yeah, Jinx will shake hands with him.
And he'll nod, and he says, I'm in media circles, and I heard you had quite a night the other evening. Actually got to see some of it.
Okay.
No. Must have been it's a heck of an accomplishment. Also, I understand something very hard won from what I gather.
Honestly, it's just another night.
Ah. I think you're being a little modest, but if that's the case, then you can color me even more impressed. And he'll say, you and your compatriots have a very interesting story, I think. And I have a tendency to, collect stories is kind of the wrong word. Just trying to make sure the stories get into a good number of ears. I think it could be very inspirational for folks who need that kind of thing.
I don't think we're the type of people who want our stories told, though. We're fine being on the down low.
That's perfectly fine. I can understand that. Absolutely. I know, though, there's at least one member of your group who seems to be wanting to increase his platform. So there's some things that can be done. And believe me, I do understand the necessity of anonymous sources. I was wondering if we might, in any case, I was wondering if perhaps we might have a little chat about it. And regardless of your answer, I do bring presents, and I will pull out of my pocket a bottle of maple syrup whiskey.
And she'll look at the bottle and she'll be like, I guess I could warrant a couple minutes of my time.
Very good. And he'll actually sort of gesture as if to kind of go to one of the, I'm imagining many hundreds of dark corners where deals and stuff are made in this place. Order tables or whatever. We sit for a moment.
Yeah, she'll motion to the poker group. She'll be back and tell them to keep going.
They nod. One of them says, "Yeah, we'll probably start without you."
Ah, that's fine. I'll buy in later. And I'll follow. We'll go find a dark corner where it's a little... Yeah.
And as we sort of are settling down, now I wish to be respectful of your time, so I shall get to the brass tacks of why this story interests me. All right. See, last night, your group accomplished something that, to my eyes, was kind of wondrous. You don't just take out a warlord like that. It's very rare. I can tell you this because I have had experience laboring under one. And, see, I was here about 20 years ago. He says, and he's rolling down his sleeve. And, well, there was shall we say, a group that I had to cling to at the time, the folks that I was near, to be able to make it through. And I had to do a lot of things. Some of which I'm not too proud of, I'll admit.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do to survive, so.
But eventually I did get out from under them. And he will offer his bare forearm.
Mm-hmm.
And you will see on there are ritual markings, ritual cuts that were made. Which you may or may not recognize, depending on how keyed in your character would have been to the various nomad groups. But I expect probably more keyed in than my character, certainly.
With that, did you choose?
I did. I chose the ritual markings as the
the ritual markings, but not the clan itself of who made them, right?
I kind of left that open. I've sort of hinted that one of their names, that some folks refer to them as the Eternal Dreadnought, but we can say that's a pseudonym if you'd like to insert a clan at this time.
No, that works. Jinx would recognize them, the Eternal Dreadnought, as being part of, in the whole, part of the Snake Nation. So basically, whereas the Aldecaldos are very much like a tight-knit group, Snake Nation is like any independent nomad clan. So they're not necessarily very trustworthy, but at the same time, they're probably not the rough and shit. They're in between.
Yeah. Worked for them for close to a decade until Lord Sanguine fell. Doing reconnaissance. And there are some things that I saw that I would never wish to see again. But, the world is rough. You gotta do what you must. But I think any time someone is able to take a stand against a force like that, or worse, as was evidenced this past week, people have got to know about it. They have to. You don't have. Now, I'm not asking for you all to give up your identities or anything like that. But you do have, it would seem already, a face out there, a couple of faces potentially. I'm talking about your Justice Mime, Jimenez.
Yeah, he's more of a spotlight person.
Does excellent work from what I can see, stretching back. And I think that this could be spun into something that could do even more good.
What's in it for you?
That's in it for me. Well, among other things, it helps me. That's part of my business. My business is the selling of information. My business is also the selling of stories. And I think if I can manage to hit the right strings here, get a good story out of this, we can get it playing nationally.
I don't need the exposure, honestly.
No, as I said, I totally understand that. Wouldn't necessarily be used getting exposed.
If you can help him Jimenez, hours, I'll send him a text and see what he says.
Absolutely, I'd very much appreciate it. This is something I think that he thinks he's got a good platform now. We can get at the meat of this and actually produce something good. Who knows?
I'll fire off like I'll grab my agent. I'll fire off a text to Menace and be like, "Media dude wants to meet you. He saw what we did the other night. He says he could help you get some fame." That's typical Jinx right there, but yeah.
Menez will check out the agent and then hold it up. So maybe the rest of the group is also there with him in the apartment. And he'll just hold it up to the rest of the group. Just ask, hey, do you want to go down and check out what this is all about?
Just playing.
Menez starts typing into the agent and asks who's playing.
I answer back whoever it is.
The answer is not Elf.
There you go.
Not Elf.
We can go.
It's Elf's new band. It's called Not Elf.
It's okay. I can definitely fix that.
No. It's a just like what you hear on Sirenscape right now. It's a what they call cyber metal. So it's basically early 2000 rock metal music.
Yeah.
Like
And then in a year
Avenged
they'll-
Sevenfold.
In a year, they'll break up and form other than Elf. And they'll start circling back around to possibly an Elf.
The artist formerly known as Elf.
Yeah, they got to hit that
There's-
one.
And there's a knockoff band called Alf.
Yeah.
Whatever reason, that group eats dressed like Nico's.
So it'll take about like half an hour for the group to show up.
I text Menace. I'm like, please come. You guys are more people than I am. Like, yeah.
I'm in. Let's go.
Thumbs up emoji.
I'll look at Blackwood and I'll be like, yeah, they're on their way.
Much appreciated.
It'll be what, like half hour.
Okay. Yeah. I'll not keep you from your game if you need it. But
Yeah, no, I have to
Yeah,
go
we
kick
can-
some ass and need some money.
I'm sure you're quite up to it. And yeah. Need to hail me? I'll be right over here.
All right, she'll go join the poker game.
Yeah. And he'll have set his business card down if you want it, just so that you'll, if you need to get like his number or whatever to.
Oh, okay.
Or whatever.
She'll take the card.
By the way, what we'll do is the group will come in. Your game won't be done, Jinx, by the time the rest of your friends get here. But I'll let you know, like, when, you know, probably like 20 minutes after everyone gets here.
Okay. Otherwise, Jinx was gonna like bow out of the game.
Oh, okay. Okay, then.
We'll just bow out of the game.
So we'll fast forward for a half hour, and the group will come in. I would like the group to describe how are you dressed meeting this media person.
Trins is dressed to go to the afterlife. She doesn't care about this media person. She's going to the afterlife. And she's going for the band, who may or may not be good. So she's probably wearing... she's wearing skinny jeans, a ripped band t-shirt that's kind of like pulled up, and her long, like, curly black hair, and with the light hair interwoven into it is kind of she's synced it so that it's now reacting to the bass line that's coming out of the club. And so, but it's all lit blues and purples, and she's got her signature Chucks high tops with light up shoestrings, and she kind of is. I think at this point she's on Jimene's arm, but she's trying to like pull him in to kind of like start dancing already because she wants to go dancing.
He will probably go along. He's not really wearing anything too special. It's just, usual jeans and maybe some black boots and a hoodie, but the sleeves are torn off on it.
Okay.
And the hoodie, I guess, will have the NCW logo on it over here.
Yeah, so repping the NCW.
Yes.
White, how classy are you?
White's dressed in his normal nondescript, like black on black, like you see in the break screen that goes by. Mirror shades and cigar, and pretty standard white things.
Okay. And Black Cat.
Cat is dressed like her usual, like no human being on Earth actually dresses. Looks like a carnival barker. So
They stand out, is all I'm gonna say. And I figure Jinx would have given you like the table that he's sitting at. And all 5 of you, 4 of you would see Gordon Blackwood. Who, I think we didn't describe Blackwood properly.
Yeah, we sort of did.
No, yeah, we did. Yeah,
we did. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you imagine someone beat the crap out of Ray Winstone, then maybe basically we can sort of like that. So he will in a nice. So he'll stand up and just sort of holding a drink, and we'll nod to you as you approach.
Oh, not what I expected.
Yeah, well, I get that a lot. But got a slightly different trajectory, I think, from most of the media runners around these parts. You care for a drink?
No, thanks.
Very good. And he will sort of go. He will kind of sort of go sit down. He will also and actually he will also sort of look to. I guess you have these other folks with you. He'll just sort of look first to. I assume that I have the information that you sent to me earlier, which I will not refer to yet, but I will just sort of glance kind of smiling first at Trins and the others, and say, "Can I get you folks anything?" And he says, just sort of holding up a glass, and
Vodka and Jolt.
straight vodka.
Rin.
it shall be so. And so to get down, I'll go ahead and put it in an order.
Yeah, let's say you opened a tab for tonight.
Yeah. I have done this before.
Like, it's gonna be easier than keeping track of all the money, but depending on how much they drink, you think your bank account can hold it.
Yeah. There comes a point. I think when I think there's just when if that is probably when he's done this before, when there's sort of like a signal or something where it's like, okay, it's time to settle the current tab, and whilst I get, whilst I have to, whilst we were doing, getting up and doing a thing around the bar and then coming back, that kind of, those people do, in this, and then it'll be because it's like he'll buy you the first few drinks, then it stops, but he will just sort of sitting back down. Is like, so you folks. So thank you very much for seeing me. You folks have did something rather remarkable last week, and
Know what
not
you're
only that,
talking
but you've
about.
been doing things that have been rather remarkable. Well, I say you folks, and I just look more specifically over at Jimenez. We know at least that it is known at least that the Justice Mime has done something rather specific, and anyone who wishes to be known to be associated with that as well. Those who don't have to worry.
I never said I was worried.
Good on you, then. Best not to worry about these things. If you possibly can. But this is something that I think needs to be known. This kind of thing can happen. This kind of justice can be brought against these sorts of forces. It's something you do not see every day. And I think that, well, my understanding is that you have a platform that you're interested in expanding. He says, more speaking specifically to Jimenez. And so, if I could, I'd like to get your story. Let you tell it.
That's fair, but usually I try to tell my story, well, just through taking actions, whether it's as a justice mime or in the ring. I mean, what I've typically always done with wrestling has been to try to blend or blur the lines in between what's real and what's kayfabe. Because I mean, everybody knows that professional wrestling is scripted, or at least predetermined. But you know, how it's presented or how it's planned isn't necessarily nailed down. It's just something done on the fly based on how the audience is reacting. So I sort of just try to put myself into positions where I can take advantage of that. It's just that this time around, I had a certain roadblock in my professional wrestling, and then I felt it was probably best for me to, I guess, combine my audiences together to get past that. But the thing is that I don't feel like my final goal isn't in Night City. And that's always been the problem that I've discovered about this town, and that it's rare for the stories to be leaked outside to the world, in addition to outside news being leaked in here.
Well, my thought is, if we get a good chunk of something to show, we play this right, this can go out, I can probably sell it to 54. And any number of other folks. You want to go national? That's something I think we can do.
I do need to go national because, as I mentioned, I feel that even just being at the top of the NCW is not my final goal. But to get there, it's going to require a lot of moving parts. I'm going to need to get my bosses buy-in to this story as well, and make sure that they get the compensation that or payout that they're looking for. And I can't jeopardize, my friends' lives here.
Oh, of course, absolutely. I know some blokes would basically be coming in and they'd have cameras about or something, but I don't do that. You got to connect with the person first. Now, that's a policy that I have that's lost me a number of potential stories over the years. But them sort of folks I wouldn't have wanted to associate with anyway. You, I think, are different.
Maybe, but I've recorded everything that I've done as Justice Mime, so getting that kind of footage is a big deal. But I don't feel like I can just tell Justice's Mime story in a sit-down interview, if that makes sense, because it's not, it's frankly not in character for him. I feel like my rise, though, or my persona as Jimenez is something that also can't be just sit down and told in an interview.
Of course.
But I do have an idea. The thing is that it involves me winning the NCW championship first. And cutting a promo afterwards. Now, if you can guarantee that that promo, that airtime for NCW can extend beyond the usual channels that NCW is broadcasted to, and maybe book a deal for NCW to be broadcast into other markets outside of Night City, I think you can get their buy-in.
I'll take some doing, but I think there's some. But I think there may be some possibilities here, especially if there's anything we can put forth as potential teasers on it that would get interest from the bigger broadcasters. And incidentally, if you want to tell the story in a number of different forms, you can get access to some quite excellent equipment.
Well, I think NCW could probably use a little bit of an upgrade in terms of their production values. Sure.
Well, I'll need to make some calls and see just how close folks are to getting to it. It would help if I could get a little something to show them as part of it, so they know that this is a thing that can be made to happen. Would you be adverse to at least doing some preliminary interviews, or just one preliminary interview? Maybe if you're going on if you've got an outing of some kind you want to do as either of your personae, we can find a way to get some of that. Better quality than folks picking up stuff with this, he says, holding up his agent.
Well, I could give you this, and he'll pick up his agent and he'll show a little bit of the footage that he recorded at the meat market from that time he took it down.
So how does it look?
So, the quality is, the same as you would find in any, phone record or smartphone recorded quality nowadays, right? So it's decent. It's good. What's interesting about it, though, is that this is footage, I believe, that's not been shown of what happened at the meat market. You remember about, like, the massacre at the meat market? The big, Justice Mime was here thing? the fact that there were no survivors. And now you get a glimpse of the chaos. I don't remember that session because it's been so long ago. What was a highlight of Jimenez's actions that night?
There was this one time where he lured a pair of guys out of the building, and then he hopped down from the roof and basically strangled them using his legs. He also did get shot for the first time on this. He took a shotgun blast straight to the chest. Prince was not happy about that.
I mean, showing Justice Mime getting shot and getting back up is, you know, if you needed a powerful symbol, that's the kind of dedication, the common folk of Night City need to look up to if they wish to be able to shake off the shackles of their impoverished lives and try to, you know, make the system better. It's unfortunate. They need to be able to take a shotgun blast to the gut and survive.
There was also, you know, some footage from the night market where Justice Mime basically attacked the Raffenschiff in broad daylight to send a message.
And just sort of looking at the footage and just sort of like, I think we can certainly do business.
And then I think what he can also probably show is the remember that interview that White, Reno, and Jimenez went to with Crazy Princess's father, and that standoff, which was in direct response to the promo that he cut as Jimenez to hype that match with Crazy Princess in the cage.
So the moment that he sees a thing with footage including Crazy Princess's father, I think Gordon is going to crack a smile.
I would like 2 seconds. When you crack that smile, I'd like everyone to make a human perception check.
Can I also do something else? Because I was
Yeah, what?
waiting.
Yes, what?
Trins, he said he doesn't use super secret camera stuff. Trins doesn't trust him.
That would be an awareness check. Perception. Sorry, not awareness. Perception.
So you want both perception and human perception?
Yeah.
Cool.
Oof.
Great. I'm going to human perception first, 16, and then the regular perception I'm going to spend 3 luck on. For a
White's clearly
32.
disinterested.
I see that, White. Actually, everyone but White, who probably should not wear shades indoors,
Or shouldn't be in the back of his brain actually reading files.
being heavily distracted. So, okay, perception check. Gordon, are you
Yes.
hiding any recording equipment on your person?
No, nothing that is activated right now. Not hiding, and you know he actually does have a camera in his pocket that is currently off. He does have some audio cyber tech that is not currently recording.
Yeah, that would be a bit harder to see. Do you have a... what are your eyes implants? Do you have any?
No eye implants.
Okay.
No eyewear. Just the audio.
So yeah, he would... Trins, looking at him, like he would need to whip tools out of pockets or bags or anything, but no, he's not recording. And as for the human perception, that smile across Gordon's face, he recognizes Crazy Princess's father. And not only that, but he seems to take pleasure at the video.
Oh, they're gonna love that. He says, he says, looking at that video in particular.
I don't think he can love anything anymore. He's very dead.
Oh no, not him. No, the some of the folks I do business with, who might be interested in telling the story.
I'm gonna ask another check for everyone. Local expert. Because I
20.
think you did mention your employer, Gordon, right?
I didn't. I did. I think I said. I'm trying to remember
Net
who I did say it to
54.
somebody. I can't. Yeah, I said 54. I can't remember if I said it to Jinx or if I've said it to Jimenez.
Said it to Jimenez.
Okay.
Jimenez, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And Jimenez is oblivious to that.
What was it again? Streetwise?
No.
Local expert.
Local expert.
Oh, local expert.
Yeah.
I gotta find it again. There it is.
2019, 24, 13. Yeah, even Black Cat, who's not been with you for a long time, Jimenez just goes right above his head.
He only knows wrestling. And,
Yeah. So Blackwood mentioned Network 54. And Network 54 is the main competitor to WorldSat. Who, for chat who didn't know, the father getting beaten up and eventually killed in that video, Crazy Princess's dad was the, I think, chief security officer, CSO for.
I thought he was a VP of some sort of like because he was trying to expand.
Yeah, no, that's true. Because he's in my old notes.
Yeah,
Because he was dead.
He's
by
a
the
vice
time
president of something, but I can't remember what it was.
VP of oh, there was something about reality TV, but
Yeah.
VP of broadcast or something like that. My bad. But yeah, a very important person within WorldSat, the organization, the company that tried to tear down your building to install, towers to basically transform the lives of poor people into reality TV. But he dead. And now you can piece together, Blackwood enjoys seeing that video, and he it's not that his eyes turned into dollar signs, but it's kind of like that. Knowing now that he has contacts within Network 54, like, this is worth a lot.
I believe in that Crazy Princess promo. Jimenez did mention that he called WorldSat a monument to entertainment mediocrity.
Yes.
And I'll also even volunteer that as folks, perhaps, depending on what they paid attention to over the years, that Blackwood did for a while was a reporter with 54. So they might have actually seen him there a number of years back. So they might have seen him there, possibly.
Yeah, if anyone was an avid watcher of the news, you might have seen him on some display screens.
How many years ago?
So let's see. Currently, is it 45 right now?
Yeah, we're in 2045.
Okay, so let's see. It was pretty soon after. It was for a few years after Night City became settleable again. It was within like a couple of years after that. So I want to say, settleable again after 23. So we were around 30-ish, say maybe.
Yeah. So we'll say, ballpark 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 10 to 15 years ago would be like the span of it, probably.
I mean, Trins is a local. She grew up here. She might have seen. It's like, oh, I saw Peter Jennings as a kid on the TV, but I didn't care because.
Mm-hmm. And and he's not. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but Gordon, you're not on screen as much. Like you're not under the spotlight.
No, not nowadays.
As you used to be.
Yeah, it was basically so 10, 15 years ago he was on screen quite a bit. If you're very old and used to watch the BBC, he was a war correspondent. But that's an entirely different.
That was 25 years ago.
Yeah, that was 20. That was a long time ago. So that's probably not in play. But yeah, this show. I didn't even say Gordon is like in his 50s, basically, for just to give folks an idea.
You can look at Trins. She's 25. She's literally born in the year of the red.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only one that you think would probably have seen you on the BBC before would be Mr. White.
White looks like he's in his mid to late 30s.
Okay.
But I mean, so you could, like, White could have caught you on TV when he was a child, if his parents, watched the BBC.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying all of that knowing none of it is true.
No. I know.
But Gordon doesn't know that.
No, totally doesn't. Yeah. But
I just find it funny.
So I think what Gordon will kind of also, as just sort of looking at that and just seeing this sort of do business, he'll just sort of very just sort of look around at everyone else here and say, also, and again, as I said at the outset, I personally don't want to share anything that folks here do not want to be shared. But if any of you do also want your stories told, I can help with that as well.
Menez is just going to tilt his head and look at Trins.
What story do I have? I make cars go better. Would you like me to fix that camera, by the way, that's in your pocket? It really is kind of old. And
You'll kind of take the camera out. Yeah, I've been getting some flutters off it every now and then. It takes a bit
when was the last time you cleaned your shutter?
Oh.
And then
She's like
flashback
literally
you
pulling
filming during the bomb.
Yeah.
That's a little bit personal, Trins. You don't ask a guy when the last time he cleaned his shutter is. Just saying.
She's pulling like those little micro screwdrivers that you use for your eyeglasses out of like her hair, and she's pulling it apart at the table and not even paying any rest of the attention. She's got shiny to play with.
You sound like an executive producer I used to work with. Used to ask the same damn question.
Oh, no, I mean, we've been together now for a while, and, there was that whole Santino thing. Just want to know if you think that would be relevant and something you'd want to share.
Why would Santino be important? He's a jackass and he's gone. And you're cool and you're here. And you're important.
Well, yeah, but...
Oh, you want Justice Mime to talk about Santino? Go ahead. Justice Mime is more important than me. I make things go boom on occasion and also fix weird... Do you know that I could have
anyone can be
digital.
important. Anyone. And everyone is.
That sounds really creepy when you said that. Are you going to be like selling us, to like Militech and shit? Because like I gotta say that I don't do those kind of contracts.
Never mind. It's every now and then. Every now and then a little bit of morality creeps in. I get old habits, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
But
shame about Militech.
I'm just saying you're not unimportant. Nobody's unimportant. Sometimes they think they are. But they're not.
No, I know who I am. It's important. I'm important to be me. And it's very nice that you're very concerned. A lot of people aren't nice in this city anymore. It takes a lot of time and effort to make sure that you're actually appreciated in all of these things. But, some people aren't. And you just got to take time to get to know folks. And, that's okay. I'm okay being myself. But, Justice Mime is like real important to important people. Like, that's a cool thing. And he actually looks really cool when he's doing it. Oh, did you see the coffee vids? The coffee vids are really good.
I saw some of those, yeah.
Also, hey, did you see the romance cover novels? They're really cool too.
I don't think I saw all of those.
No. We don't talk about those.
Why? They're really great. I think it would be great for Justice Mime to now have like the whole series of romance in the cover novels. That'd be great merchandising. Also, there might already be merchandising of those.
Yes, I still haven't seen my cut of that either.
No, it's in your bank account.
What bank account?
And she'll like click through her Chiron and send you a bank account number. And this one.
You opened up a bank account for me?
No, I didn't.
Huh.
Merc did. For all the merchandise sales.
That doesn't sound like something that Merc could do, but okay.
I mean, I may have held a screwdriver to some very important pieces to make sure that he did it.
Okay, well, there is that.
But see, it's also limited. It's listed under the company name, so all the shares and profits from your image are going to being divisible, and we're paying taxes on it. Sort of. Well, enough that we aren't going to get arrested by the IRS.
Is there an IRS in Night City?
Yeah, there is. And the thing is when they come to collect, they have armed escorts. They don't just send letters.
Is it like that scene in 2077 where those guys got shot down by that giant floating military?
No, that's that's the Cyber C Squad.
Yeah.
No, those are what you saw in Mr. White's first episode, his solo episode.
Okay.
No, normally it wouldn't be as bad as that. Let's say it would be as bad as maybe like the equivalent of if you have played 2077 in the beginning when the trauma team gets out of their AV. There's like 2 or 3 of them with submachine guns. They're not like heavily armored, but it's just enough to say that if you try to run or if you make a sudden movement, you're gone. And they'll take anything from your corpse.
Well, yeah, it's Night City after all.
No, it's the IRS.
True.
But I would just like to know, because we're going to fast forward things a little bit to get to another part that I wanted to have tonight. How do the rest of the group... So we've asked Trins. Jimenez was asked. Jinx a little too, but what about Black Hat and White? What do you think of Gordon Blackwood's offer of, telling your story nationally?
Absolutely zero interest, none whatsoever.
They're very humble people, Gordon.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, and if they...
I prefer
sorry,
that. I prefer that people don't associate my name with my actions.
And I think if you make that known at some point during the conversation, Gordon will just very quickly just totally agree. Just absolutely agree. No, it's here's the thing. Even right and wrong aside, trying to dig for stories like a lot of these folks do and get in people's faces and get them out there, barring issues of public safety. Telling stories that don't want to be told is just bad business.
All right.
Um,
We like that for now.
all right. Yes.
I think Jimenez will probably think to dial Lucius Rhine later and see if he wants to lend his influence to some of this as well.
Mm-hmm. 2 seconds. So you keep, drinking, waiting actually for Trins to finish repairing the camera, which takes, maybe a half hour more than the. Yeah, you really don't need to roll. You would have succeeded. But yeah, you didn't even really pay attention, Trins, to what you were doing. It's all, motor reflexes. Or muscle reflex. Whatever, that word. And hand the camera back to Gordon.
And I'll point it away from anyone who's sitting here, just to look through it for a second, and just see kind of how it looks.
Works well. It stopped making that weird whirring noise from inside. Oh, and it doesn't rattle anymore.
Huh. Oh yeah, that is what it was supposed to. That is what it originally sounded like. You're good 'un. What do I owe you?
You bought the drinks.
Fair enough.
So if anyone didn't order too much, let's say everyone drank average drink, that would come up Blackwood to like 50 Eurobucks for the whole evening.
All right. Yeah, that's not terrible. I don't think, probably. Jim, who does not understand economy.
Well, basically everyone's using the euro.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's cool.
So it's $50.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. That's not terrible.
Nah, for a night at a bar for 6 people.
Yeah, for the night at a bar. Dear God, that's cheap.
Yeah, but you went for mid-shelf drinks.
That's fair.
Which is why White only had one, and he sipped it very, very slowly.
I probably spent more on that bottle of whiskey than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Then your entire groceries for the week. Yeah. And the and the worst is
We're having ramen for a while.
any one of these people can pay for the entire alcohol stuck in this bar, and you will never know that. So with this this offer settled, Gordon, you're gonna have to talk with Davey to set up, and with Donna to check with okay, how is Network 54 going to handle things?
Yeah.
What's the hardware that you're gonna need? You mentioned maybe possibly upgrading the NCW's production value, or at least that was an idea that X threw out. So there's also that. That means finding equipment, or maybe hoping that Davey has something to spare. And we'll move on to the next day. Davey and Dana, you send them the messages. They'll look into it. But it just so happens that while we're talking about production value, X, I believe you had something that you wanted to have filmed.
Yeah, but it was supposed to come a little later, so
Okay.
kind of wanted to resolve the that Booker incident that he is not aware of whatsoever.
Then if the party is okay with it, we're gonna have to move one more day. We'll flash forward 2 days. Because in the news, 2 days later, you hear through the garden spaces that there was an attempted murder. A figure came running through that Booker works for not GPW, right?
No,
I'm
NCW.
mixing my acronyms. Okay, sorry. So, in the NCW headquarters, someone came running in with a vest of explosives, 2 submachine guns in hands, and they ran through security, knocked someone out with 1 gun, and were about to open fire at the rest of the heavily armed security forces when both their guns jammed. They were promptly tackled, tased, and almost killed on the spot, if not for the fact that the CEO of NCW, as well as the rest of the executives, would like to know, first of all, how did they manage to come in that quickly? Who was the target? What was going on? And why did this person had a manifesto signed Jimenez in X's almost perfect handwriting? And the news article shows pictures of this would-be assassin, which Jimenez recognizes as Pyria. Pyria?
Oh. So if he's sitting there watching that with Trins, he will actually do a genuine spit take. Yeah. And he is just going to swear, like, holy Christ, really?
She would do anything for you, man. And she spent a long time with the Raf and Shiv.
Huh. Wow. What is Jimenez's fans' reaction to that?
There's a lot of WTF. There's a lot of people just sending you the same, link to the same garden space, asking you if you've seen it, if you knew what it is. A lot of, net running sleuths have gone and tried to search in your past, figured out that she was, crazy ex-girlfriend, and just they believe that they can, I don't know, gain some sort of fame or recognition from you by telling you, hey, we know who it was, as if you didn't know who Pyria was anyway. Your fans are not necessarily confused. Some of them do condone the act. Others think that this was organized by you because, and another link that you find, the bookie actually caved in because, of course, the manifesto talked about, the reason why, except it was written technically under your name. If you were denied the match, then no one would ever have it. And you were going to blow up NCW for the fake, the fake promotions that they make and the false hope that they give real hardworking wrestlers and athletes.
Okay. I think that Menace is probably going to try to spin it and say, this wasn't me at all. But Draven wants this match and I want this match. If you folks want this match. You're going to show up at headquarters, and you're going to show up the arena tonight, and you are going to demand that this match happen or riot.
Okay, make another charismatic impact. I love that you use the word riot. Of course, Gordon, I assume that you're also following what's happening.
Oh yes. Well, he will also offer assistance in getting out in front of it if it is wanted.
Yes, please.
Right. Okay. Now submit here, and here to these places.
So with a 9,
I'll send to these links.
okay. Yes, a group will show up. Your fans will en masse show up. But only one will show up in riot gear.
Fine. Okay.
The others are
so our
willing
fans aren't.
to... Well, your fans are willing to be rowdy, but after what happened, none of them will try to like destroy property or anything.
Okay, that's fair.
But you know, chant, yes, they will. Scream, yes, they will. But damage property, violence, only one really enthusiastic fan. We'll say it's the guy from Vancouver, right? He flew down from Vancouver.
All right. So what how much would that sentiment change if I had burned all five of my luck?
It changes from one person to each and every one of them in exchange for your attention.
Yes, he will promise that.
Okay. Then yeah, luckily enough, you know, you send a second message right after to try to make things clearer, and if we forward to the arena tonight, there we would see like a lineup of attendees, regular folks, you know, going to see the match tonight. Then as the camera pan a little to the side of the venue, the fire exit door is open, and an army of fans wearing Jimenez merch, and most of them also, though it's not evident at the moment, but a lot of them are also bringing with them black and white makeup. Are entering by the side door. Why? Because most of them are armed in some fashion. We're talking small arms, for the most part, melee weapon, or implants. Like, you know, so one of them, like the one person holding the door open, like we could clearly see they have big knucks on their knuckles. Shit's about to go down.
I mean, we can sort of montage through this, but
Yep.
I'm assuming that the we'll say that originally it was Royd Pex that was scheduled to wrestle Draven for the championship fight, but then, you know, the bookers relented, seeing what was about to go down, and decided that they were going to go ahead and give Jimenez the push that he wanted or expected. And so you'll see, like, the main event match is, you know, this 24-minute long match. It's probably the best match that Draven's wrestled in a long time because he actually cared to do it. And
Do you have a description for Draven?
yeah, so he looks like this wrestler. You can Google him, Malachi Black. or Alistair Black.
Because, I would like to
He's huge.
describe him. Yeah.
He's
No,
huge.
go ahead.
Yeah, he's huge. Tats all over. He's got this sort of semi-goth metal vibe to him. I think he's Dutch too, but he's very much a Muay Thai fighter too. So he's actually pretty brutal at striking. But he's been the champion at NCW for like 3 years running.
And he's got a cyber eye after losing one eye in a fight, apparently.
Yeah. But yeah, so they have a match. I think also as a part of the deal, Trins is now allowed back into the arenas for matches. Her suspension has been lifted. And I think the finish will be Jimenez using Renchi to amplify a submission hold, and he's going to force Draven to tap out. And then, it's a celebration. Everybody, Jimenez finally gets the belt, and he sort of Lambo leaps into the crowd where Trins and his friends are. And so there are probably a lot of photos taken of him with the belt. And then I think things will fast forward to the next live show for NCW, and that's when he will come out with new entrance music. He's going to come out to Cult of Personality to address the audience, and he's going to be carrying with the title on his shoulders. Do I need to roll anything, or is there anything you want to add before?
No, because you got your charismatic impact at, like you said, 5 points of luck?
Yes.
Yeah, no, your fans are ecstatic for the whole time. Not only did you get the belt, not only are you gonna have a chance at the title, or at least, a chance to get into Grand Prix Wrestling.
Well, no, that's not announced yet.
Oh, sorry, my bad. But yeah, no, they are, you got what you justly deserve. According to them.
Okay. So I guess then after all the entrance music stops and everybody stops chanting, he's just going to lift the microphone up. And he would have phoned Gordon Blackwood and let him know about this particular promo. This is the one that he wants out there, sent internationally, or outside of Night City, to basically announce his presence on the scene, or his arrival on the scene.
Did you want Ryan to also see this live?
Yeah, I think Ryan should see this live.
Okay. Cool. Continue.
So, folks, you know that back when Nexus took over the State of NCW address, I promised you that things would never be the same. And I just didn't mean this show, because no. There are bigger things at play here, and this wild ride is just getting started. And now, if there's one thing that I've learned upon arriving in the city, it's that the NCW fandom is the pulse of Night City. And that pulse is this undercurrent of anxiety and hopelessness. I feel it all the time. But when I step into the ring, I also feel a glimmer of something. I feel a glimmer of defiance in all of you. And that was the genesis for Justice Mime, to become the voice of the voiceless. And when the Wrath and Shiv arrived and turned our neighborhoods upside down, looking for some ghost of their past, I took a stand. I mustered all the resources that I could to engineer Dog Killer's fall and send a message to anyone else who would dare overstep their bounds here in Night City. That message is this: Night City is our house. And now, I know all of you feel it. You feel this new energy in the air. And just as Justice Mime had your backs, you showed up in droves and had mine. Through sheer will, you forced NCW to grant me this opportunity that others have denied me for so long. And because of that, not only did I have a career-defining match, I came out with this, the NCW World Championship. And let this mask just slip for a moment. Because whether you watched one Justice Mime video or 1,000 Jimenez matches, I got to thank you for the privilege and the honor of being a part of your lives. My friends, you just can't survive Night City by resting on laurels. So as fate would have it, there's a golden opportunity on the horizon. You see, 5 months from now, a new bully is coming into our yard. Grand Prix Wrestling is bringing their marquee spectacle, the show of shows, to Night City because their president, by way of a wrestling legend who became that through revisionist history, Nick Levesque, thinks that his company is the only wrestling company in the world. But if Nicky thinks that he can just come onto NCW territory and upstage us, he's got another thing coming. Wrestling fans have been dreaming about it for months, but I've been planning this for years, and tonight I'm shooting my shot. So here it is. Dream match. GPW versus Night City. Champion versus champion. PT Magnum versus Jimenez for the right to be crowned undisputed world champion. This is the main event that the world wants so bad. So by hook or crook, GPW is going to acknowledge my challenge. And when the dust settles at the show of shows, I'll be standing tall with both titles draped across my shoulders because nothing embodies the Night City dream more than waltzing into a corpo's turf and taking their most coveted asset. Folks lighting the world on fire is tomorrow. Tonight, we still gather the kindling. You see, I'm a fighting champion, and I'm going to show why this title, the NCW World Championship, is the most prestigious title in the world. So to everyone out back, no, why limit to that, folks? Anybody with the grapefruits to come to Night City and wrestle me, here's your shot at glory. Bring out your A game because right now, the NCW World Championship Open Challenge begins. You want some, come get it.
There is a split second of complete and utter silence in the arena before the crowd erupts in cheers. Wow, thank you, sound cue.
Effing legit.
Cheers, the effing legit chant, and gunfire. So much gunfire. People are happily rioting, I guess. And there is, I think, if we end on this one scene, it would be an exec from GPW shutting down a video feed. And just like pushing a button for an intercom and just say, we need to shut that little twerp up. And that's where we're gonna end tonight's session. You have fun?
Always so much fun.
So this is of course the beginning of things. Sorry if I had to bounce around all of you tonight. A lot of little seeds I wanted to plant for the season so that we can I don't know, do this, flower, let it flourish, whatever words. I'm getting very much tired and in need of coffee. But thank you everyone for coming tonight. Thank you players for taking some time off of your Friday night. Come play Cyberpunk with me for the, I don't know, almost 40th time. Thank you so much, chat, for coming and hanging out. Thank you to our sponsors, Talsorian, Roll20, Found Familiar, Magen Press. Thank you, BK. Yes, I was looking for the word bloom. Planting the seeds to let everything bloom. Thank you very much. Without further ado, let's go around the table. If you have any projects, I know some of you have some very interesting projects going on. So I am giving the mic up to all of you. We'll do same order as we did the intros. So we will leave Jim for last as our guest, who I hope can come back next week. We can talk about that offline to see the maybe like the conclusion of or the denouement. Denouement? Denouement? I don't know if that's even a word.
Demunag. Yeah, it's the end of the
Denouement.
end.
Yeah.
Cinema is a word.
Okay, cool. Woof. Anyway, let's start with Chris Geary. Hi, Chris. How are you? What you got going? Blah blah blah. You know, get.
Hey everyone, it's Chris Geary. I play Mr. White, aka Dr. Frost. You can find me in chat and on Twitter at Chris Geary. You can find me here for the rest of our epilogue season 5. See how I skipped that word, Simon? And on Friday nights, and then you can find me over on Craftic Studios channel as we partake in our 4th alpha playtest series of Omens Rising, covering things like the bonds that you can create between characters and NPCs as part of the game and the game's mechanics. This upcoming Wednesday, it's Wednesdays at 8 p.m., we are going to be looking at our Session 0 activity, which is about party cohesion. And you should come check it out to see what kinds of things we're up to with the Omens Rising game. In August, I will be working with Fayforge Academy and their podcast, and we'll be doing another alpha playtest of Omens Rising with them. 2 recording sessions with a handful of podcasts that'll come out of, or podcast episodes that'll come out of those recordings as well. That'll leave our 6th and final alpha playtest before we take up all of our notes and buckle down and work on our beta draft with Lost World Archives, where we will do a mini campaign to kind of bring it all together. So look for that. A couple other things in the works, but they're not ready for announcements yet, and maybe by next week.
We will keep an eye out. Skipping over Jim for a second. Rin, what do you have going on?
Not much. I'm here on Cyberpunk, playing Cyberpunk. And the what? Oh, my fanfics. Yes, I'm sorry. Thank you, Trans. Yeah, I will put that in the link. There's an echo. Can you turn off your mic? Yeah, so I write fanfics for this character, and I did one fic for my other character for Malifaux, which Malifaux will come back at some point, if you want to go read it. And otherwise, I'm on Twitter at Heaven's Night. And yeah, that's it. I'm sorry, I'm brain dead too, so passing it on.
Well, Deirdre, you're next. What do you have going on?
Oh, hey everyone. I love this crew. I love Friday nights and the chaos. I also love the fact that, you know, it's totally going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine. And as for me, hey all, you know me. I'm at Deirdre on Twitter, or Praxagorth as Euphoria, as you see me around here on Twitch. And Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, Season 2 of Romance of the Blue Rose returns. to my channel, Praxagora Thesmophoria. Someone on this screen has to make some very important rolls. I have a little sticky note about those very important rolls, about whether or not someone on this screen will fall to Fang sickness and become a vampire thrall to the crazy vampire regent of Kern. Then Wednesday on my channel, we are back with season 2 of Witcher Roads Home. We had our season 2 session 0 this week. I has notes about that as well. There are notes made. The drama y'all are not prepared for. But other than that, check my Twitter because I always post where I'm going to be, all the fun, wonderful people like these fine, fabulous folks that I hang out with. Also, I'm going to shill for someone else because they're epic and, Witcher's coming back. So someone on this screen, like someone directly below me on this screen, did the fabulous character art for our Witcher campaign and makes these wonderful, beautiful charms. And unfortunately, her Etsy store is closed because she's going to go be doing con stuff. But go buy her art.
Speaking of, Hannah, which con? What do you have going on?
Well, now I'm flustered. Thank you, Prax. I'm going to be at MetroCon next week, and then the week after that, I will be at Tampa Bay Comic-Con, and then 2 weeks after Tampa Bay Comic-Con, I will be at MegaCon. So it's kind of back-to-back-to-back cons in July, August, but I'm excited about that, but not as excited about tomorrow. I get to be back on this channel with Anino, 1 p.m. Eastern, to play some Scion, which is very much fun. So very much looking forward to that. Thank you, Prax.
And last but not least among our regular players, Anino, what you have going on?
Not a whole lot else right now. Haven't figured out what I wanted to do with all this time off that I have coming. But in addition to the shows that Anna has mentioned, I will be over on Other Dog's channel tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern time for Invisible Sun. I think we're finally getting to brunch. There was a lot of plot last episode, which seems out of character for our show. So, we'll fix that shortly. So anyway, you can tune in at 8 p.m. Eastern time for that. And then, I don't know, maybe I'll appear on a couple of streams over the next 2 weeks doing crafting stuff or gaming stuff. I heard of this game called Witcher that folks here seem to like to play, so maybe I should finally get around to that. So
speaking of Invisible Sun, Jim, welcome to the channel. What do you have going on?
Thank you so much. This has been an absolute delight getting to play in your world. I've gotten to see the campaign off and on, and I thought over the as long as you've had it on, and it was a beautiful thing, and so I was very pleased. I've had a chance to dip my toe in, so very glad for that. Very glad to play with these people. Thank you all so much for allowing me in and being patient with me. I'm looking forward to doing a tiny bit more next week if we can manage it. So very cool, very cool. The one tiny thing I will just briefly mention is that as far as before I do my plugs, is that this character was by and large inspired by the promo videos, Simon, that you put out at the beginning, the promo interviews, when you had the news person, Benedict Sinclair, on there doing the interviews, and I just thought for a second, it was like, what if I played someone who is a rival to that character?
And by the way, Benedict Sinclair was played by a friend of Chris, whose name escapes me, though.
Paula Beta.
There you go.
Excellent. So there's a bit of lore back there that we've hashed out behind the scenes that probably won't necessarily come out, but it was amusing putting it together. So very cool on that.
And Jim, just so you know, I shared that with Paul, and Paul thinks it's brilliant. So
excellent. Awesome. I am so pleased. Very cool. But as for me, I'm Jim Ryan. I am Other Doc on both Twitch and Twitter. I am a writer, streamer, and podcaster. My website is jim.com, where I have links to my various things that I've had out historically, audio and otherwise. On my channel, Other Doc.
You can put all the links in chat, by the way, Jim.
Oh, okay. I can do that. Yes. All right. I will do that as soon as I'm done talking, because I can't talk and type at the same time. My brain just doesn't let me do it. But what I will mention is that I have on as previously mentioned, on Saturday nights we play Invisible Sun. Somehow last time we stumbled into the plot, and so there's plot happening, and as various secrets come out. We're doing the directed campaign as part of what we're doing, but it's really just an excuse for people to go and have strange brunches in various points. So that's really what it is. And then on Tuesday nights, we're on my channel, we are doing currently doing a multi-part playtest of a game I've written called Genesis Undone. It is a tarot-based GM-less story game that tells the story of the dawn of a civilization as though it were a sort of Greek or Shakespearean tragedy. And it's been pretty good so far. We've got one or two more episodes of it left before I go back to running Urban Shadows on Tuesday nights, and so it's been doing pretty well. We're playing robots on Mars, having all manner of drama between us. And then, of course, on Wednesday nights, we have a game of Scum and Villainy called Untitled Space Game, whereby we go around and bother people in space, basically. And that's pretty much all we have going on at the moment. And again, thank you very much for the opportunity to join in. This was a lot of fun.
You are very welcome. As for me, I'm Simon at Wondering DM. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming once again. You can find us back here tomorrow, and by us I mean myself and and Hannah as we play Scion, Birth of the New Gods. We're in our second season, and then on Sunday you'll find me over on Praxagorathus Beforius channel for Blue Rose, where I may or may not end up being a vampire called Sir Phallus. And then on Monday, we will probably be back with our Rime of the Frost Maiden campaign. We'll see how things are. But otherwise, you can find me playing The Witcher on Praxis channel on Wednesday. Then next Thursday, we're finishing our first collection of issues for Sentinels of the Multiverse. So it's our 6th episode, and thus the end of the first story arc. And here for some more Cyberpunk on Friday. Thank you everyone for coming tonight. Let's just, why not raid someone very quickly? Who do I have that we can raid tonight? How about another Cyberpunk player. They're not actively playing Cyberpunk right now, but they are playing with me over on Cyberpunk Uncensored, and also have played were one of my players in my Cyberpunk game over on Unmade Gaming. We're gonna go say hi to Miss Magitech. They're playing D&D tonight. So let's just drop by, say hi, and keep watching TTRPGs for the whole weekend. On that note, thank you everyone for coming, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
To me, you're all. To me, you're all to me. You're all to me. She stood there in the light. There in the light. You wrote to me. You wrote